I'm on a mission to help 6 real people out of real situations using real deals in real time. And the last couple of weeks you've met Maddie. You've seen the game plan we gave Maddie. Now, Maddie is a homeless lady that reached out to me a couple of months ago via email saying, please help me out. And I said, Maddie, I'd love to help you if we could document the series. We could turn it into something special and share it with our YouTube audience. Now, just like any great story, it doesn't always work out the way you want. Wait, what happened? The worst case scenario just happened. I got a call from Maddie saying that she's getting kicked from the shelter. Worst thing is, she doesn't even know where she's going. They told her to pack up her stuff, they're gonna grab all her things, and they're moving her to another shelter. I don't even know where that's gonna be. So the sad thing is, she says most of these shelters don't even have Wi-Fi. There's no way for her to plug her phone in. She doesn't have unlimited data on her phone. And so her ability to watch videos that I'm sending her, a lot of the training that we've given to you guys, she can't even watch it. So her continued education is now basically going away. And her continued touch points, because she's not hanging out with me every day, those are also going to go away. And she's now gonna be in a shelter. I won't even know where she's at. Her phone won't even be usable from what I will understand. And now she's gonna lose all of her momentum, right? She was sending us deals. Yeah, she hadn't gotten a deal yet, but she was sending us opportunities. And now she's gonna lose her Wi-Fi, her training. She doesn't even know where she's gonna live. It's so crazy to me how people are living their lives like this, that they can just go down to a human being's room and go, all right, pack up your stuff, you're leaving. Wow.
When you enter the shelter, you have 90 days. So in that 90-day period, the expectation is that you're looking for an employment, that you're securing employment, saving money, so that when your 90 days are up, you have a place to go, you have money to sustain yourself, and things of that nature. What happened with my situation was, it was a month early. It was a month early. Why the decision was made, I don't know. I got a call about 8 o'clock in the morning. We're moving you today. And I said, no, you're not. I said, because that is too soon for me to pack up all my stuff, organize, and be ready to go.
I thought we had way more time. In fact, in my mind, I thought we had 20 to maybe 25 more days, and we just get an abrupt call saying you're out? What? I mean, I'm grateful that these organizations exist, but where's the communication? This lady's trying to get her life back on track through getting a bird dog deal, and she doesn't even have Wi-Fi now to even send a text message.
So by Thursday, they picked me and all my things up, moved me to Phoenix to a shelter, and which was a total shock because it's nothing like Mesa. This shelter is men, women, dogs, and whatever else was there. At the end of the day, the big difference with Mesa and this other shelter in Phoenix is you're allowed to be in your room, or you're allowed to go out or do whatever you want to do for the day. This other shelter, when you go out, there's no structure there. You're just in a room with beds.
So she's probably gonna have to walk to my office or figure out where I'm at, because her phone doesn't work unless she's plugged into Wi-Fi.
Well, there's not an impact really, because if you're determined, you're gonna figure out how to get it done at the end of the day. It's just gonna take some time from you. That move costed me time. Now I gotta come up with another game plan. I gotta come up with a routine, a daily routine. So my daily routine was to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, shower, get dressed, and leave and find a workspace. So basically, I'm taking calls, I'm doing some calls, trying to do some deals, make some deals happen. I do have a strong buyer. Pace Morby is my buyer. So I look for what he wants: single families, Maricopa County, 3-2 and above, like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Some may have swimming pools, some may not. Just whatever the deal brings that fits his buy box. So I'm just here taking notes, doing calls, and finding out what this deal may bring, and if it's something that Pace might potentially buy. But my deal is, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? Because at the end of the day, if you want something, it's going to take determination, ambition. It's going to take you just doing whatever you have to do to kind of pull things together, figure things out. If you really want your life to change, then you'll figure it out.
As we discussed in episode number 2 with Maddie, I gave her a game plan that was very clear, whiteboarded it step by step. Step number 1 is find a buyer, which is me in this particular situation. She'll find other buyers in the future, but for right now, I'm her buyer until she gets her first deal. Step number 2 is only one buyer. Step number 3 is she needs to go and find wholesalers and suppliers that will bring opportunities to her. I told her and advised her, because she's not in my sub-2 community, she doesn't have access to the elite trained people inside the industry. I didn't want to give her access to any resources that people in the YouTube audience or our free Facebook group don't have access to. So I suggested to Maddie, right when we first gave her the game plan, that she needs to go and find wholesalers that are in the free Facebook group that are sub-2 student trained. So that's what she did. She went in there and she found about 15 contacts. What's cool about this is no matter where you are in the country, United States, Puerto Rico, Canada, Mexico, and 27 other countries besides Canada and Mexico, we have elite trained sub-2 members that you can also JV with. Maddie started going into the Facebook group. She gets a list of suppliers, and the one at the top that was sending her almost 2 to 3 deals every single day was Matt Justice.
I reached out to one of Pace's students, and I was basically harassing him for a deal. Find me a deal, find me a deal, find me a deal. Not realizing how busy he is with his team, and he's astro flipping with his team. So, but I basically harassed Matt, like, come on, Matt, help me out, help me find a deal.
So she connects with Matt Justice. Matt Justice is sending her addresses. She is copying those addresses and those numbers and sending them over to my team on a daily basis. The downfall, as we've discussed already, is that she goes in and out of Wi-Fi. My team has actually said multiple times, Maddie, this is a great deal, but by the time she gets that message and relays it back to one of her 15 suppliers that are in the sub-2 community, that deal is now gone, sold, deleted. She lost the opportunity. Maddie would have gotten her first deal on deal number 18, deal number 24, and deal 30 because she was getting yeses from my team, but by the time she received the message and went back to the wholesaler and said, I want the deal, my buyer wants the deal, that wholesaler had sold it to a different buyer. Now, the great news is that Maddie did not quit.
And so he comes back with this deal. I send it in to the team. The team comes back with a firm no, right? So I'm looking at the deal, and just based on the things that Pace has told me and taught me, this looks like a deal, right, to me.
What ended up happening is on Monday this week, she sends me a message. And she says, hey, it's a holiday. Is it okay if I keep working? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. I'm available. So I went into the emails that my team looks at. Maddie sends Heidi on my team the deals. I never look at them first. And I started looking at the addresses, and I was like, let me just kind of verify and see what my team's looking at. And I see this one in Tempe, Arizona. Super safe market, guaranteed you're not gonna lose any money, right? And that's where the team will not be as good as me. I'll look at an area and I go, I'd rather go do that deal that has a guaranteed 25 grand profit than the house 25 miles south that we could make 60, but we also could lose 10. This one's like guaranteed we're making 25 to 35 grand, guaranteed. And I then go to the house, it's a day off, and Trevon and I worked on Memorial Day. We went out there and we filmed, and I walk through the house. It's like, this is easy. Are you kidding me? My crew, Chava, who's been with me for 16 years, could be done with that renovation in 40 days. Yeah, $100,000 renovation in 40 days. You need a new kitchen. It's gonna be white shaker, so it won't be expensive. But then it's got really funky things like these drop down ceilings in multiple places. So it means that you're doing significant demo. You're getting rid of the retro bullshit. You're getting rid of, it doesn't look bad. Like there's a family right now that would probably buy this house for like, 400, 415 on the retail market, probably. I walked through, sent a video over to Heidi, and Heidi then goes, wow, the renovation's 40 grand less than what it looked like online. I actually think this could be a deal. I go, okay, can I commit to it? Because when I commit to this, I'm gonna text Maddie and say, congratulations, you just got your first deal.
We are going to the title company and we gonna get paid. We gonna get paid. We gonna get paid.
Here, no. let's take a picture of me and her with the contract real fast.
Okay. See, Pace, why you always wait till I pick up all this stuff? We are going to.
Here, you hold the contract.
Okay. Well, the first deal, and to actually have a check in hand was like mind-blowing, exciting.
Okay, so what you're signing right now is you are signing what's called an assignment contract.
Okay.
Okay, so what that means is the person who actually brought the deal to you, which was Matt. Okay,
Yes.
Matt was involved. He actually opened the house for me.
He did.
Yeah, I went and met him at the house.
Awesome.
Trevon and I went over to the house.
Yep.
So Matt, who sends the deal to you, sent this contract to you.
Okay.
I knew you didn't have the ability to sign it, so we printed it out right here.
Okay.
And the beautiful thing about when you're doing bird dogging is you don't have to worry about any of the paperwork.
Absolutely.
Did you have to even worry about any of this stuff?
No.
Okay, cool. So you've got Maddie Richards right here.
Okay.
You got, this is the person that's assigning the deal. Their purchase price was $405.
Okay.
Okay. The person that we're doing the deal with is Magnus Title. That's who we're going to go drop this off to.
Okay.
Okay. The amount of money that I am putting up, because I'm the buyer, is
Okay.
$5,000 for earnest money.
Okay.
And you, my friend, are, let's see, where should it say this? Okay. You and I have another agreement. So there's two agreements we have to sign.
Okay.
One agreement is going to be between you and Matt.
Okay.
And then you and I are going to sign an agreement.
Okay.
Your agreement's for 405 with him, which is what you're signing right now.
Okay.
Then you and I are going to sign an agreement that's for 410 to me.
Okay.
Which then gives you the ability to make the 5.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I need you to initial here,
Okay.
and I need you to sign here.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Your first real estate deal.
Right?
That's so crazy.
No, that's so great.
How does that feel?
Amazing.
First of many.
The
Right.
first of many. Okay, so here is the settlement statement. Okay, so we call this a closing statement, a settlement statement, what have you. Okay, you guys can see this is the escrow number is right here. That is a recording number that goes to the state. This is a real deal. You can see that the original purchase price right here is $395. That's the price that the seller receives. Okay. The seller pays off the $99,000 he owed the bank. The seller has to pay the listing agent. The seller also had to pay the buyer's agent, and the buyer's agent is one of my students. He was a licensed wholesaler in this situation. Okay. So as you guys can see down here, the first student that got paid of mine was $59.25. They were the agent that brought the deal to the next person. They made $1,500 bird dogging. So this is the first bird dog, $1,500 they made. A third person in line made $5,000 who sent it to Maddie. Maddie then sold it to me and she made $5,000. So there are literally 4 bird dogs on this one deal.
I want to know your mood when you got the text message from Pace. I want to know what your reaction was.
Disbelief. I thought he was just joking around. I really did. I thought Pace was playing, and I even texted him. I was like, stop playing. And so at the end of the day, it didn't really hit me until last night. Like, I was like, no, this didn't happen. So I was like trying to process everything. And then at the end of the day, I was like, don't get excited, don't get excited, don't get excited. So I was trying to hold back the excitement. But when it really hit me was when I was about to go to bed last night. That's when it really hit me. And I was talking to the lady that sleeps next to me, Crystal. And so I was like, Crystal, it happened. So we was like hugging each other. She was like, congratulations, I'm so happy for you. And so we was just talking about it. That's when it really hit me like, yeah, this really happened. I came to the office, he was doing a teaching, which was great. And so I sat through the teaching, learned a lot of new stuff. And after Pace did the teaching, that's when he said, I said, Pace, when are we going to get the check? He was like, well, let me check. He was like, because I'm waiting on a title company to let me know that the check is ready. So we waited a little while, and I was just kind of moseying around in here. And when the check was ready, he came in and he said, you ready to go? I was like, yes, yes. So we go to the title company.
The other emotional part was when we actually got the check, and she opens it up, and I saw her face when she saw the $5,000. It's like, oh my gosh, this has my name on it. It's a lot of zeros. It's all I've had in my bank account was zeros, but now there's a number on the front of those zeros. That was really emotional to me, watching her walk into the bank. And what was interesting, I know where I'm skipping some stuff, but what was interesting is we go to the bank and I go, you go do the bank stuff on your own. I don't want to be in your business, you know? So I sat in the Prius. Next thing you know, 5 minutes later, she comes out knocking on my glass on the Prius, and she's like, hey, come inside to the bank. I'm like, they don't think that your check is real. That's what I thought. What was really happening is she's trying to get the freaking teller to borrow money from me, and she's trying to broker a gator deal right there at the freaking cashier. So she goes and grabs me, and she brings me in, she's like, I need you to meet John.
Networking.
She's networking, she's enlisting people. She's closing, she's basically recruiting people going, the guy says, oh, I've always wanted to get started in real estate is what he told her. He says, I always want to get started in real estate. She goes, what's stopping you? He goes, money. She goes, I got the guy that has all the money. Let me go grab him. She just leaves line, grabs me and brings me into the cashier. What also got me emotional is remembering when my bank account would never have more than a certain dollar amount in it, that when you put a big deposit in, they hold your money for like 10 days. That's what her deposit is currently doing right now. They only gave her $100. They were actually going to shut her account down because she had never made a deposit into this account. And she was like, no, give me time. She had this belief system in her mind of like, I'm going to get a deal. Do not shut down my bank account. So she's calling them, don't you dare shut down that bank account. So she gets this check that goes in there, $100 is available, $4,900 is not available until like 5 days later. That was interesting to me, to remind myself of a time when checks wouldn't clear because my bank would be like, we don't trust this person. We don't know if you just wrote this check and it is gonna bounce, right? And then there was a significant moment where I was emotional yesterday when I dropped her off. We do the check, we go to the gas station, we get a snack, we're hanging out talking, and my whole team who handled the transaction, Shelly, Jade, Molly, Heidi, they're like, did you get her check? They're like, everybody's rooting for her, right? Because everybody remembers what it was like when they did their first deal. And Then I drive her down to her shelter, and she was talking about like, hey, these security guards are not always that nice to me, but I'm always nice to them. And I drop her off, and I watch her. She has to go and get frisked to get back into the shelter. Like, think about, she just had this amazing triumph just to have to go back into the shelter. And so I felt like a failure in that moment, like I haven't done enough. And I haven't gotten her to where she needs to be, that she's still having to take her shoes off. They go through her bags, they go through all her stuff, and I took that as a personal defeat on my side of watching a friend that I've just recently made in the last 30 days go from triumph to pull your pants down, take your shoes off. We don't trust you. And I understand why they're doing it, so I'm not criticizing the act. I just was like, we gotta work harder. We gotta go get this done. Like, one deal at $5,000 is not enough money. It's life-changing. It's proof of concept, but it's not enough money.
Just keep it coming. Keep it coming.
Now, what do we, so when we sign an agreement like this, where does this go?
To the title company.
To the title company. What is that called? It's called opening escrow.
Okay.
So this begins the start of the transaction. When do you get paid?
On the front end.
You get paid on the front end, but when is the front end? When do I become the owner of that property? Do you know?
Today, right?
Nope.
When?
So this is what's
At the
beautiful.
closing.
You don't have to know anything to bird dog, like literally. At the closing, but do you know when the close of escrow is, when I buy the property? What day it is?
Friday.
It's Friday.
Yes.
Yes, there you go. So
yes.
you get paid on Friday. Here it is, what day?
Tuesday.
So you sign an agreement on Tuesday, you get paid on Friday. That's how fast this can happen.
Yes.
Do you feel like you could do this at least once a month?
Yeah. Heck yeah. I just sent Heidi over a bunch of properties this morning.
Not multifamily though, right?
No.
Not Atlanta?
No. So it was just exciting. Like, the whole day was just, I was so excited that I wanted to kind of sit down and like woosah, but I couldn't. I was just too excited. So I was kind of like all over the place. When Pace dropped me off, I was just all over the shelter, everywhere, talking to everybody, but not talking about my money. No, I was just talking about, I felt good, I was excited, I was in a good mood. And one guy said, I'm gonna call you Sunshine. He said, every time you come around here, you're just like sunshine. And so we were just like talking, having a good time. I was just kind of talking to everybody, and I don't usually do that. There's a few there at the shelter that I have connected with, that I talk to, like, hey, how you doing? How was your day? Just small talk. And but yesterday I was talking to everybody, the staff, everybody that was there, because my excitement level was extremely high yesterday. And I think I kind of finally calmed down maybe around 11 o'clock when the lights went out. I think I kind of actually calmed down at that point.
Now, I'm grateful for Maddie, because I could have had a way harder situation. I could have had somebody that is sitting there going through mindset issues of like, no, woe is me, the government hates me. I have not heard one negative word out of this lady's mouth. Everything she says, I like that person's nice. I like, all positive. I would say I hit the lottery. It could have been way worse. And I think people I've talked to that have experience with the homeless people and the people living on the streets are like, wait, you're doing what now? Like, you're venturing into a world that you don't understand. I'm like, no, I understand it. I haven't worked in that world, but I've done a lot of, research. I've gone to multiple shelters and asked them what kind of people are here. And it was surprising. The last year I found that a lot of the people in the shelters literally just don't have the ability to make enough money. They don't have enough opportunities. There's like 30% of people, like, think about the statistic from Family Promise. 1 in 30 kids in America sleep in their parents' car. That's 1 in 30 kids sleep in their car. So I'm like, I have a 30% chance of getting somebody that's literally just financially not sound. And I hit one of the 30%ers instead of the 70%ers, right? She just has fallen on times that she needs a different option. That's it.
just reaching out, sending an email, a random email that I didn't know was going to ever reach him or not. To now, like almost a month later, to have $5,000 in the bank, you couldn't even imagine, like, from what I came from, where I was at, to now having money in the bank. Like, give me a spacesuit. I am ready to take off.
Maddie got her first deal. How incredible is that? Oh my gosh, I know it's not that surprising, but the reality is it should be. This is a lady that is literally in a homeless shelter with a broken phone. She took the action, she did the thing. That is so incredible. My biggest fears start popping up though. My biggest fears are, once somebody who hasn't had money in their pocket for over 4 years gets a chunk of money, are they gonna stick around? Or are they gonna hit the comfort level, right? That ceiling, that glass ceiling that goes, you're comfortable, why would you continue to work? I'm trying to get this lady from being homeless to becoming a homeowner. One deal is not what the goal was here. And so for me, just like, what did Kobe say? They said, why are you not happy, Kobe? He says,
job's not finished.
Guys, the job is not done. Just because she got one deal, all that tells me is I gotta push harder on the gas, and we gotta get this lady a home. We gotta get her out of the shelter, which was the original goal. Getting her $5,000 or $10,000 was never the goal. That was more the paradigm shift that she needed to prove to herself that she deserves home ownership. And so we have a lot more work to do. So stick around through this series, because that is the next step. We're gonna start talking to her about where we can find those deals. How can we structure those deals? We are gonna talk about creative finance and where can we get agents to bring us opportunities, and how do we structure a sub-2 deal where she can live in a house for free. We got a lot of work to do. Now, don't forget, we've been recording 30, 40 hours on almost every single episode here, and that footage just simply can't make it into the YouTube edit. If you guys want those videos all chronologically organized, we're giving those to people that are pre-ordering the book. We have a book called pacesnextbook.com. Why is it called that? Because we have 5 more characters that we have not selected for the book yet. People that are not homeless, people that are maybe single moms or fathers that have 2 or 3 jobs, wounded veterans, high schoolers that are saying, I'm flipping burgers because I want to avoid college. All of those characters are coming down the pipe, and we haven't quite figured out what the name of the book is going to be, but all I can tell you is that this is giving you blueprint after blueprint after blueprint and reaffirmation that you should be doing this too. If you want those videos, head over to pacesnextbook.com, pre-order the book that's going to be coming out in the upcoming months. And as these videos are not making it to YouTube, they will make it into your email inbox. We will be delivering these to you in real time. As we record that week, you get video footage that will help you in your journey of following Maddie and then following some of the other stories. One thing we're thinking about doing as well is we want to maybe allow you guys to apply, if you guys have pre-ordered the book, allow you to apply to be one of the last 2 or 3 characters in this book. We're working on that. So if you pre-order the book, that might be a fun bonus that we add a little bit later. But in the meantime, buy the book, know that it's going to a charitable cause, a family promise, that the proceeds will go there, not to me, not to anybody on my team, that the book will be shipped to you, and you will get a game plan, and you will get all the video footage. Now, will Maddie give up now that she's gotten a check? Will Maddie continue to double down? Will Maddie go from homeless to homeowner? We'll have to find out in next week's episode. We'll see you guys there. Make sure that you guys give us a little bit of love down below. You share this with a family member and say, you got to follow this journey and do exactly what Maddie's doing too, because this will help your situation. We'll see you guys in next week's episode.